Hey guys, Todd Helms with Wingmen out here today to bring you a gear review on the Meindl EuroLight uninsulated boot. I'm going to run down through all of the features on this boot so you have a full picture of kind of what to expect from this boot. I've been wearing these now for about 2 weeks, maybe 3. Didn't have them in time to hunt waterfowl with them, and turkey season's not open yet. But this boot is a crossover kind of EDC do-it-all boot that you could take on your next turkey hunt, on a big game hunt. You could wear around shed hunting, whatever it is that you're into. For my purposes, this is a turkey-focused boot that I could repurpose in the fall into an elk hunting boot. First blush on this boot, when I pulled them out of the box, I thought, just looking at them, I thought, wow, that is a heavy-duty boot. It's going to be stiff. It's going to feel clunky on my feet. And that was not the case at all. That first perception was shattered when I picked the boots up, and they are light. I couldn't believe that a boot that was this full featured was so light in the hand, and if it's light in the hand, it's gonna be light on your feet. And if you know anything about footwear, you guys have run and gun for turkeys and maybe chased big game in the fall too, know that pounds equal pain. Man, a pound on your foot is like 10 on your back or more. That's exactly where the EuroLight Uninsulateds shine. When I picked them up, I was like, wow, these things are light. They tip the scales about 3 pounds per pair. That's about 1.5 pounds per boot. I know that's some math wizardry right there coming from a word guy, but hey, about 1.5 pounds each on your feet. Really, really comfortable to wear. Just putting them through the paces. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to hunt in these boots yet. I'm looking forward to going in, I think it's 1.5 weeks now, on the first turkey hunt of the year. But I've worn them around the house, I've worn them around the office, I've worn them around doing blind cleanup, just trying to get the feel for these boots and get them broken in. My preferred hunting footwear is kind of light hiker-esque, if you will. So I was a little apprehensive about these boots and putting them on. I put them on, I strapped them up. They got a 9-inch height on them, so that was a lot of ankle support and lower leg support that I'm really not used to, but I came to appreciate it very, very quickly. First time I wore the boots, I just wore them around on a hot lap on my morning walk with my dogs. And flat ground, you know, some gravel mixed in, but just trying to get the feel for the boot. And I was really expecting for my feet to be sore, for my feet to maybe, these boots to have more of a break-in period. And that was not the case at all. The Meindl EuroLight uninsulated boot was comfortable right out of the box. I had 0 hot spots. I had 0 chafing, no blisters, of course. That is thanks to the AB Flex rating of the EuroLight boot. Very comfortable. As you can see here on the sides of the boot, and I'm not wearing them at the moment because I can't show you the boot if they're on my feet very well for the review. But these boots creased across the toe box here really comfortably. There was no pinching, there was no weird sensation. They just kind of moved with my foot in a way that, again, I was really pleased and very impressed with a boot that's this full featured, that's this robust to be that comfortable at the same time. I'm picky about my footwear, guys. I really am. I spent a lot of years wearing junk boots, and when I was a young man, and I gotta say that I'm really excited to put these through more paces this coming spring on turkey hunts. You know, we hunt out here in some fairly demanding terrain when it comes to turkeys, and it can be nice to have a boot with really positive traction and stability to it. And the EuroLight uninsulated boot from Meindl going to provide that in spades. All that said, let's run down through the features that this boot boasts so you can make up your own mind from this review, and then of course go get your feet into a set and see how they work for you. All right, so starting with the outside of the boot itself, you've got a fully waxed nubuck upper. You know, they're 9 inches tall. You've got all this leather, this nubuck leather on here that, like I said, at first blush, it's robust. It's gonna take a lot of beating and a lot of abuse and protect your feet in the field on demanding hunts. I haven't had these boots that long, but what I have done with them so far, I've been outside. I've done flat ground hiking. I've shoveled snow in them in a spring snowstorm we got the other day. They were soaking wet, my feet were bone dry, and that's thanks to the Gore-Tex liner that's built into these boots. There's a little side channel that I'm gonna walk through and stand in and flex these boots in and see if I get any wetness or leaking in them. I don't think I'm going to, but let's go check it out. Yeah, I got nothing so far as waterproof, no leaking. They're actually even grippy on these super slippery rocks. Man, usually when I'm wearing boots down here, they're like some sort of a rubber style boot, and I slip and slide all over these grimy rocks. I've been wearing them on my workouts. I don't run, not a runner. I know, looking at this physique, you think, shocker. I ruck. I like to throw 50 to 75 pounds or more on my back and just take off and go with my dogs. And I've put this boot through those paces to see what it would do and how it would perform under a load. You know, more than me as a, as a load. The support offered by the polyurethane midsole in these has really shined in the stability of these boots and the amount of load that it can take. I'm not a little dude, weigh about 250 pounds, and well, after Easter dinner, let's face it, I've got a little more than that. But anyway, I throw on a backpack with a bunch of weight in it, and I just go as fast and as far as I can in about, 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and these boots have held up to that. I've done that in these boots probably 8 or 10 times now. No chafing, no hot spots, just straight up comfort. You can see these soles dig in, man. Comfortable on my feet, but I've got lots of stability, lots of ability to do different things, but I'm gonna be able to walk all day in them at the same time, which is nice. Now, what about the traction? The Duo DUR3 sole on this has a multi-directional lug pattern, and if you look at it, it just kind of looks tough. Like I said, these are super clean right now because I had wet, heavy snow that I was shoveling, and it cleaned them all up. But in that slippery, wet snow, pushing a shovel on pavement, I had no slipping whatsoever. And it is a really good representation of what this boot's going to be able to do in snow-covered, rocky terrain or slick terrain with mud, perhaps on rock or uneven surfaces. Out here on dry ground, walking around up and down the hills and doing different things with it, walking my dogs, this sole has been super aggressive, super positive traction, but it doesn't collect debris. And that's one thing that is a pet peeve of mine. This sole is grippy, it's forgiving, it's comfortable. This boot, it's a do-it-all. And that's what Meindl bills it as. And I kind of thought, okay, we'll see. A boot that's built like this, I thought, there's no way it's gonna be comfortable to wear in an everyday scenario. And it has been. I've worn them in the office to work, around the office to work, just sitting at a desk doing my editing work. They're comfortable on my feet, just sitting there. Another thing that makes these boots incredibly comfortable on the feet, in my experience anyway, is the Air Active insole that's inside the boot. Just adds a level of comfort and cushion that makes these boots just really friendly on your feet. I have robust ankles. My ankles are not weak by any stretch of the imagination, and I can get away with a low top boot or a mid-height boot on a lot of hunts where a lot of guys want a high boot with lots of ankle support. I don't necessarily enjoy that amount of support wrapped around my lower leg and upper ankle. So it was a really nice surprise that when I laced up a 9-inch boot, which normally feels pretty restrictive to me, that I had lots of flex and lots of mobility in that ankle. That's thanks to the flex built into the upper ankle of this boot. For you guys that need more ankle support or want it, you could really strap this boot down tight. It's going to form around your upper ankle area really well. I could feel that support that it gave me. And in really demanding terrain, if I was doing a heavy pack out, say with elk quarters or the new world record gobbler, that ankle support would be nice. It would come in handy and just kind of help ensure that I have that extra stability, that I'm not going to get injured on a demanding hunt. And being able to adjust the lacing, thanks to the lacing system that they've got, just adds another level of flexibility to this boot and makes it perform across a wide range of activities. Even on flat ground like this, the boot just is comfortable to wear. It's not too much boot. I was worried about that. I was worried about this being too much boot for my personal preferences. So let's talk about the last of this boot. And the last means how wide the boot is across the toe box or across the top of your foot. And the EuroLight Uninsulated has the straight last. I don't have particularly narrow feet. I don't have particularly wide feet. I'm kind of in the middle, and this boot fits me perfect. Another note on sizing. You want to order, whatever width you're accustomed to ordering, stay with that because of the straight last on these boots. But you want to order a half size down. These are size 11s, and I wear somewhere in the neighborhood of a 10.5 to an 11. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with just a straight size 11. And if I was wearing these in really warm weather with a lightweight sock, I think a half size down other than the 11 would be ideal. With a midweight sock, I've got room that I feel comfortable in the boot with, but they're not sloppy on my feet. They're not too tight. When my wife saw these boots, she was intrigued as well. And they do have a women's model in the Meindl EuroLight, both in insulated and uninsulated. The women's model is available out there for you gals that need an EDC style boot, a boot that's just going to perform across a wide range of conditions. That is my full review of the Meindl EuroLight uninsulated boots. Check this boot out any place you can get Meindl boots. You can go on their website. You can look for these in a store, get them on your feet. You check them out and decide for yourself. And while I got you here, drop down, mash that subscribe button, flip on that notifications bell, and leave us a comment. Let us know what else it is you want to see, and give us some feedback so we can tailor these gear reviews to what you want and what you're looking for. And check us out on all of our social media feeds, Instagram, Facebook, and don't forget to listen to the Wingmen podcast. You can get that podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. And while you're listening, leave us a review on that podcast. Give us a rating. That really helps drive traffic and helps us bring you more awesome content so we can keep you entertained, keep you in the loop, and most importantly, make you a better hunter. Until next time, we'll see you in the field.